Hello everyone, I'm Sharon with Entelechy Visions, and this is an energy update for the week of September 9th through September 15th. So it's been a hot minute since I have connected with you in this way. It has worked out with my schedule to do the podcast formats instead of the video setup, as it does require a little bit more. But we'll see how it works, and I may intersperse this with the podcasts as well. So what do we have happening this week? We still are in the Virgo season, so we're finding that a lot of details are still taking place for our lives. And while there is a lot that still needs to get done, maybe our task to-do list is getting really long and we're finding that there's so much that we need to tend to. There's also this bubbling up of socializing as well. So you may find yourself connecting with a lot of people or getting invited to gatherings or different connections, meetings with others. So a lot of that is happening, but we're trying to find our balance as well between doing and tending to our task and to-do list, and also to have fun and socialize and connect with others as well. So this Virgo season and the entire month of September itself is a 9-month. And a 9 is really indicating the end of a cycle. So when you think of 9, the next number is 10, and in numerology that narrows down to 1, and 1 is a beginning. 1 is the start of something. So a 9-month is all about finalizing something, completing a transformation before that 1 month begins, before October begins. So we've been on quite a journey for the last maybe year and a half or so of really transforming ourselves on so many levels. So if you can look back on what has occurred for you in your life for the last year and a half and see all that has shaped, all that has shifted, and all that is different for you. So over the course of this summer, the course of this year for that matter, we've been in quite this metamorphosis stage. So we may have been operating, many of us have been operating under this false story or this false program of who we thought we were, or how we thought our life should look or take shape. And we may have been operating under these old patterns, these old stories, old beliefs, maybe imposed upon us from other people, childhood, or things that we have just constructed about ourselves over time that we think, but they become a reality. So these are almost like bars that we have unconsciously, subconsciously shaped around ourselves, but we've been operating within them. And they may have been preventing us from taking our lives, taking ourselves to that next level, taking our truth more out into the world. So we all have these patterns, we all have these false stories. So the way things have been taking shape, especially over this year, is to really deconstruct all of that false patterning from our lives. So these challenges that we have gone through have not been easy, but each challenge has had its purpose to really rock and shake loose anything that we had been operating under that was not for our highest good anymore. Anything that we may have kind of gotten used to, almost like a comfort zone that we were just operating under out of default because it was what we knew. It was how we knew how to operate. But we knew truly from our heart space, from our soul center, that there was something that we really wanted to offer. Our truth was kind of bubbling up, percolating and wanting to come out, but these false stories and patterns were kind of preventing it from really taking shape. So this period of transformation has shaken loose a lot of these stories, a lot of these patterns, and it's allowed us to feel more clarified and to allow our truth to step more fully into the forefront. So you may feel like quite a different person as this 9-month rolls around and we're completing this cycle of metamorphosis before we enter the 1 month, the new beginning and the start. So see what has taken shape for you and see what's occurring right now that you may feel a little weary. You may feel a little tired or maybe very tired, because a metamorphosis like that was truly deconstructing, almost like a tower crumbling, and it was tearing down all of these false structures. And that takes energy, that takes guts, that takes a lot of courage and strength to stand in. Almost like we were in this constant storm that was rattling us and shaking all of these old structures. And now we're kind of out of that storm and we can breathe a little bit. There's a little bit more air and we can see what just happened. We have some perspective, but we may be feeling a little tired at all that has taken shape. So allow this period of the first portion of September to really integrate all that has taken shape and to kind of mend yourself again, to rejuvenate, because you deserve it. You did a lot of hard work. And so it's time to really pick up the pieces of yourself, of your life, the pieces that are meant to be mended back, and to cultivate more self-care that is very rejuvenating to you at this time. To see what you have experienced and to ready yourself for the momentum that will really start picking up as the mid-month point turns and as we move into October and into that 1 month of the beginning. As we enter this week, we are still in that kind of patient waiting period, that waiting zone, where we're still integrating all of those lessons. And a lot of it is very visceral. A lot of it's very physical right now. So you may find that your physical body is achy, you are tired, maybe spacey and dizzy. And this is getting paired with a lot of really intense solar storms lately. So that's kind of coupling with this. So give your body some love and attention because it's going through a lot right now. The physical form is the last to catch up to any kind of emotional, energetic transformation because it is the densest layer. So it kind of moves through the layers and then it moves into the physical form last. So if you're feeling a little rocked in your body, know that this is what is occurring, and just to allow yourself to catch up and to listen to truly what you need on a daily basis, if not hourly. So to really check in, and not so much here because our minds have a different view or perspective of what we need, and it's more so connecting to your heart, connecting to how you are feeling, connecting to what do I need in this now moment? What does my life path need in this now moment? What am I feeling called towards? What am I feeling called towards? not what am I thinking that I need to do for my path ahead, which is really common to do, that we try to analyze or think, or we go into like a fear-based mindset of, oh my God, I need to change this, control this, or figure this out in intensity to make something change. So it's really about operating more from here, which is a very, very different feeling, but it's really how we will be navigating the path ahead. So it's retraining us how to move away from our mental processing of how we analyze and figure out our lives, and moving more into our heart center and to feel our way through, to intuit what is meant for us. Because this center within us is what is connected to our higher self. This is connected to our soul, ultimately, and to all of creation. So when you connect to your heart, you're connecting to all of that. And it has its own energetic field around it. So there is this intelligence coming from your heart space. So when you tap into that and you listen, then you're really guiding yourself from your soul's mission, because your soul has a totally different plan than your ego. Your ego may think it knows what is best, or your personality may feel that you have it all together in your mind, but really it's your heart that is connected to your higher self, your higher aspect. And your higher self will always guide you to what you truly need. Your higher self knows the vision for your soul, for your plan in this life, and it's operating from your life purpose. So when you tap into your heart center, you are tapping into that field of intelligence coming directly from your soul. So it's really important to operate more from that space, to train yourself when you're going into the mental mind chatter and you are trying to figure out everything for your life. Just take a deep breath. Come back to yourself, come back to a space of trust, and to move your vision, move your attention and your awareness down into your heart and operate more from this space. What am I feeling about this thing that I am concerned about? What am I feeling about it for my life path? Do I feel good about it? Do I feel expansive about it? Am I trusting that I will have everything that I need if I surrender a little bit more? Because the more that we surrender and the more that we allow in our life, the less of a gripping or a restriction that we are putting on the thing that we're focusing on. Because the more we're trying to control with the mind, the more we're actually preventing things from happening. Because there's this sense of the energy just getting cut off, or getting like a hose that is kinked. So when we let go and we allow, then the flow can move more freely. The flow of our lives and things happening for our highest good can move more freely. So just give that a try, especially as we move towards this month of October and this new beginning. It will be really beneficial to operate more from your heart space and to have that place of trust and surrendering to what is needed and feeling out and intuiting what is needed for your path. So we have a lot of creative energy still bubbling up. And this is really leading towards these gifts. Maybe there have been some gifts that you have been wanting to offer to the world that just kind of got stuffed under all of that transformation, all of that metamorphosis of tearing down your own tower and feeling weary or fatigued by all that. But now that we can breathe a little bit and we're seeing the light of day, these gifts are bubbling up and they're showing us that we're not as afraid to share them. We're not as held back or hesitant to want to share them. So what is that for you? Is there something bubbling up for you now that you've been craving to share for a really, really long time, and it's now resurfacing? It could be subtle for you, but notice what is actually coming up. To really listen to that, because that's a nudge. That's a nudge to move in that direction, that you're being shown to share more of that, of whatever that bubbling up is for you, of something creative, expressive, something that feels very expansive and more aligned with who you truly are. So as we reach the full moon this week, which is on the 13th, this will put an even further cap to the transformation of summer that we've gone through, because full moons are that completion point. And then next week, which I'll speak about more then, kind of begins more of that momentum. So see this week as a chance to really reevaluate all of your self-care needs. Maybe see how you can tweak some things in preparation for more momentum, in preparation for the new beginning month of October and more of harvest season. So maybe it means something of fine-tuning your practices on a daily basis. I often hear and see people say that they are not meditators and that they don't want to meditate. They've tried it and they're not good at it. There's no such thing as not being good at meditation, because it is a practice. And the more that you practice something, the more you will fine-tune it and get better at it. So not everyone is called to the meditation path, but I do recommend it, especially as energies pick up more on the planet. It's really good to find our root, to find our place of connection. And it's so important to check in with ourselves, even for just a few minutes daily, to see how we're feeling. And you can do a self-check-in. Maybe that's a body scan, and you're going within and you're just seeing, how am I feeling? Is there something achy? How are my emotions doing? How's my physical body in every single area? What am I perceiving about my life? So just doing this kind of body and life scan can be really, really beneficial on a daily basis. Meditation, if you sit at least 10 minutes, I've often found that even for my own practice, there is that mental chatter. There is so much of that, but it's almost like a train that is speeding on a train track. So the train's not going to stop immediately. You can't just put on the brakes and it stops, a dead stop right there on the track. So you need to allow your mind, which is like the train, to have the brakes, to slow down. It's a slow down, but to give yourself some patience and some time to allow the mind chatter to slowly move into a more calmer and open, aware state. So if you sit for 10 minutes, I've often found that that hamster wheel of mental chatter begins to slowly calm down. So if you can make it to that 10-minute mark, you'll find that that awareness begins to arise, the calm begins to seep in, and you feel clearer. You feel more present. And the way that that ripples out into your life and into your daily experience is enormous. And I often know the days that I don't get to meditate, I definitely feel the effects. So that clarity is huge, and it's raising your vibration, it's elevating your light. And you have this light vibration within you, and the way to really elevate and find a root within you is to meditate daily. And that will help you to be less rocked by the other people in your life, challenges. You won't take on energies from others as much. So it really becomes a rock as you're building your light, you're building your core even more so. And that's something that you can do for yourself regularly. So it's practices like that that will help us in the months to come, because October will really begin the energies of 2020, almost like a gateway to the next year. So it'll be quite a different experience come October. So really use this month wisely to find your own balance, to integrate, to refill your cup, and to come back to a place of awareness of what you have gone through and who you are now, because you have done quite a bit of work and you have changed dramatically. So if you need additional support, I offer remote sessions by phone or in person in Cave Creek, Arizona. You can visit entelechivisions.com to schedule there. And you can also contact me with any questions. I love to hear from you. I hope you have a beautiful week ahead, a wonderful full moon, and I thank you for listening.